Okay, so right now I want you to be on page 3 of your Unit 1, packet number 3. Hopefully you've already done the step of listing the perfect cubes. So those perfect cubes are going to be positive or negative 1, positive or negative 8. Why am I saying positive or negative? Well, because to get a cube root of 8, you could do 2 times 2 times 2, and that'll give you positive 8. Or you could do negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Oops, that's a negative. Is equal to negative 8. And that's why I'm saying either it could be positive or negative 1. Positive or negative 8. And so on and so forth. So I'm going to write the rest of them. Please get familiar with these, and hopefully you wrote them yourself on your notes page already. But if you didn't, I guess you can copy these ones, because here we go. It turns out this is my second time doing this video, and it turns out that I would rather have all of them up there. Okay, now it's in focus. Second time. I hope I don't have to do this 3 times. Okay, 216, and then we have 343. So positive or negative 343, positive or negative 512, positive or negative 729, and positive or negative 1000. All right. So again, we are on page 3, and we are going to start on number 19. Okay, number 19, cube root of 40. This is just like when we were doing the square roots, except for the numbers that we're going to try to divide by are these numbers that are listed up here. So I hope this one is fairly obvious to you. 40, I guess you could divide by 2, but you divide by 8 and 5. 8 and 5, you guys, are the numbers that you're really looking for, because 8 is a perfect cube. And so you would have cube root 8 and 5. Okay, so that 8 is going to come out. When it comes out, it is a positive 2, because that's what the cube root of 8 is. So now it's 2 cube roots of whatever's left over, which is 5. And that's it. We done. That's finished for number 19. So let's go to number 20. Okay, cube root of 192. Now 40 was pretty obvious to me because, I don't know, 8 times 5 is pretty obvious. But 192, maybe not as obvious. So you could be going through your list, and you can use your calculator to help you with this part. And you could be dividing 192 by these numbers up here. I'm going to try 8. 192 divided by 8. Okay, 24. Well, if it is divisible by 8, but it gives you 24, you know, 24 is also divisible by 8, so it's not high enough. Go ahead and try another number. So I go up the list to 192 divided by 27. That's not going to work at all, because that's 7.1111. Okay, so 192 divided by 64. And boom, 3. Great. So cube root of 64 times 3. That 64 is a perfect cube. Don't get confused, because it's also a perfect square, but it just happens to fall in both lists, you guys. So when that comes out, that becomes a 4 cube roots of 3. And that's it. Okay, move down to example for number 21. 2 on the outside, cube root of 432. Well, this is when I might start pulling out maybe the big guns on my calculator. And I might start doing that method of y equals, which I showed you in class the last time we were together. So we're going to try that. We need to find factors that are perfect cubes of 432. So I'm going to hit y equals, and then I type in 432 divided by, I don't know if you can see that. So divided by, this is how you put in x, divided by x. Now I want to see a table. So I go second graph. Notice that I'm on a different calculator than you. It's pretty much the same. Mine is just old. It's just older than yours. Yours is more fancy. It has color and such. And my numbers are all janky and big, but yours is pretty much going to operate the same way mine is. You're going to punch in the same buttons as I've just been doing. So you can look in either list, although you might want to look in this the list that has the higher up numbers. And you're going down this list and you're looking for numbers that are perfect cubes. Ding, ding, ding. Hopefully you saw this one. 216, and its match is 2. So leave the 2 on the outside. Cube roots of 216 and 2. This 2, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it until the very end. Whatever number comes out, you're going to multiply times this 2. But otherwise, just like keep moving it on down with your problem. Just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, 216 is going to come out, and that is the cube root of 6. So I've got 6 times 2 cube root of the leftovers, which is just a 2. Okay, so that, you got to simplify still. That's 12 cube roots of 2, and that is my answer. So that is completely simplified. Number 22. Wish I could be taking questions, but I'm here by myself, so I'm not. What's different about this problem? All of a sudden, there's negatives involved. -2 cube root of -250. Well, remember, your list up here, those are positive or negative numbers that you're looking for. And I had explained why right there. So, scoochie on down. 250, what numbers might it be divisible by? You might already have a guess and try it on your calculator. I'm going to again show you the y equals method. Y equals, clear that out, type in the number. It's a negative. Make sure that you are using the negative button and not the subtraction. So -250 divided by x. And then you want to look at second graph. You're going to look at the table. Okay, so I'm looking down my list. Boom! Hopefully you see it like I see it. 125, 125, and 2. -125 times 2. That gives us a -250. Make sure that when you're starting to write your factors, especially when you start dealing with negatives, that they would multiply back to this answer. Like, for example, if you had made this -2, then that doesn't, negative and negative makes a positive, so that's not going to work. One of them has to be negative, the other one has to be positive. And just copy and paste the rest. -125 comes out. It's as a -5 times the -2 that was already out there. Cube roots of the leftovers. And that's going to be a positive 10 cube roots of 2. Okay, so that's number 22. Number 23, number 24, really similar, pretty much the same. If you don't want to stay with me, if you want to just do it on your own, that is fine. I'm going to go ahead and continue for anybody that does want to see it. Or you could just check your answer with me, and that's fine. So, 23. 23 is 8 cube roots of 96. So I'm looking for numbers that divide evenly with 96. To go back to the calculator mode, we haven't used our calculator that much. Second mode. Okay, now I'm in calculator again. You can clear. Negative 96. And I'm going to divide that by, I'm just guessing here, 96. It ends in, so it could be 64. Let's try 64. Oh, negative 1.5. Not going to work. So, negative 96 divided by 27. Oh, not going to work. Okay. Negative 96 divided by 8. There we go. So negative 12 and 8. So I copy and paste the 8. And negative 12 and 8. Well, 8 is the perfect cube. I'm going to make it negative and put it out here in the front and make it a positive 12. That negative 8, when it comes out, is going to be a negative 2 times the 8 that was already outside, cube roots of 12, negative 16 cube roots of 12. If you can pull a negative root out, you should. So some of you might be asking, well, couldn't you have just made this a negative 12 and left it under the radical? What the proper thing to do is to, if you can simplify something, if you can take something out, make it the negative thing to get it out from under that radical sign. And 24. Negative 3 cube roots of 189. So I'm looking for some numbers. 189, I'm going to guess 27. And so I'm going to have negative 3 cube roots of 27 times 7. So I've got a negative on the outside, but this isn't negative. So these should both be positive here. 27 comes out. Now I've got 3 times negative 3 cube roots of 7. Negative 9 cube roots of 7. Final answer. Okay, now you should, well, I'm hoping that this helped enough so that you can complete the homework. And 13 minutes of a video is long enough.